morning, and welcome to your morning cereal.
Boo! Happy Halloween! And oh yeah, welcome to Friday. Today is about enjoying a fun tradition with costumes, candy, and remembering that we all wear masks sometimes. Even though I will say that the costumes available today are much better than those plastic ones that we wore back in the 80s. Does anyone else remember sticking your tongue through those small plastic mouth holes? That can't just be me, right? Well, after those masks, I just went ahead and graduated to that Count Dracula makeup. Well, grab your pumpkin latte and let's get into this Halloween edition of Morning Cereal. And sticking with the theme this morning, our quote today is from Halloween favorite Dracula, who was apparently quoted as saying, quote, "Time is always too short for those who need it, but for those who love, it lasts forever," end quote. And those are some very insightful words from Vlad the Impaler, highlighting that our emotional state, whether filled with love or distress, our state of mind plays an influential role in our sense of time. And here I thought he was just going to say that he wanted to suck our blood. Well, today's news, facts, and birthdays are for October 31st. Back in 1917, during World War I, in the Battle of Beersheba in southern Palestine, it was the last successful cavalry charge in history, and it was performed by the 4th Australian Light Horses Division. Then, moving up to 1984, as you might have guessed, Ghostbusters. It ruled in the theaters and Halloween costumes everywhere. Also in 1984, you might remember this, the original movie, The Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, that horror movie that introduced the world to Freddy Krueger, it was not actually the #1 movie at Halloween. Why? Because it wasn't released until November 16th. What were they thinking? Well, finally on this date, back in 2011, the world population, it reached 7 billion inhabitants, according to the United Nations. Today, the world population is estimated at about 8.25 billion. That's 1.25 billion higher if you're doing the math on that. And if you recall earlier this week, that might have something to do with China lifting its one-child rule. Like I said, date night was back on. Well, happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. You share a birthday with He Rocks Me Like a Vandal, Robert Matthew Van Winkle, aka Vanilla Ice. He's 58 today. Comedian and actor Rob Schneider, he's 62 today. Director of The Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, 64 today. Legendary news anchor Dan Rather, he's 93 today. And funny man who the world misses, the late John Candy, he was born on this date in 1950. And finally, actor of old, the late Michael Landon was born on this date in 1936. Well, the #1 song on this date back in 1990 was Black Cat by Janet Jackson. And that's a little Halloween-y, right? Well, we're gonna try not to cross paths with it, but Janet's Black Cat, well, it was a fierce rock-infused hit, and it showed Janet's edgier side. There was no choreographed pop sweetness on this one. It was just raw power. And we've been talking about the talents of the Jackson families, right? Well, get this. Janet wrote and produced the song herself, and she became the only artist in history to earn a Grammy nomination in pop, rock, dance, and R&B categories from the same album. That was her Rhythm Nation 1814 album. Man, those Jacksons, they were talented. Well, also talented, Mel Robbins. And we are reading her book, The Let Them Theory. And today we're reading through the subchapter, How to Love Difficult People. And today we're gonna let my wife teach this one. I'm just kidding, I'm not that difficult. Well, Robbins starts with a line that cuts right through the drama, saying, quote, "You can't change difficult people, but you can decide not to join them," end quote. And she explains that loving the hard to love isn't about approval, it's about awareness and boundaries. And she introduces what she calls compassionate distance. You can care without carrying someone else's chaos. Robbins writes, quote, "When you choose to understand instead of fix, you trade exhaustion for peace," end quote. And she acknowledges that difficult people are often acting from fear or some pain in their life. But you should know that your job isn't to heal them. It's to maintain your own stability. And Robbins shares practical tools here. So pause before engaging with them. Lower your voice instead of your standards. And practice empathy without abandoning self-respect. Robbins also adds, quote, "Boundaries aren't walls. They're welcome mats for peace," end quote. And her message is very clear here. You can love someone and still protect your energy. Love without control, it becomes real compassion. And when you stop trying to change others, you change your own life. Okay, here is your Friday Halloween takeaway. You can't fix people, but you can stay kind without losing your peace. And that's the real magic. So tonight, as you hand out treats and you see a few tricks, remember that kindness is the sweetest thing you can give out. Have a spooktacular Halloween. I know, that's really bad, but have a great Halloween, have a fantastic weekend, and of course, have a fantastic day. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Morning Serial podcast on the One Life Live It channel. You can find more episodes and videos by visiting our YouTube channel and the website at Sean Inglis and at SeanInglis.com, where you can also follow our other podcasts, the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis podcast and the Life Happens podcast. In these other podcasts, we'll dive deeper into everyday issues, self-improvement and well-being, business and finance, and we welcome special guests too. So join us. It'll be a good time, I promise. Thanks again for listening. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow.